In the last video, we learned how to connect to our server, which houses all of the data that we're going to use for the rest of this series. Now take a deeper look into our database and get an idea of the table that we're going to be pulling data from. As I said in the previous video, we're having our server here. In the Object Explorer, we have this database folder. We just want to open that up. We see our one database's wide world importers. We'll open that up and we'll see several folders beneath our database. The only one that's really important for this series is the tables folder. That's going to house all of the tables that we hold data within our database. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so that we can see all of these table names. So there are quite a few tables in here, and you'll see that we have a lot of different names. For example, application cities, we see that we have sales orders, sales order lines, and we have warehouse stock items. All of these tables are important in that they provide some level of information. For example, our sales.orders table is going to provide us with all of our row level information about specific orders. Our order line table is going to break out those orders in case these are multiple line items per orders. We have a sales.customer table, and that's going to give us all the information about the customers that are placing orders. Another example is warehouse stock items. That's going to tell us all about the different items that we're selling. Actually, the best way to explain some of these tables and how they're related to each other would be to check out our Power BI series. But for now, I'm just going to show you what we end up with for our database diagram by the end of the series. It's going to give you an idea on how all these tables are related and how we set up these relationships. Because the relationships that we're going to set up within SQL are going to follow the exact same structure. For this series, we're going to be pulling data from the same tables. So to get us started, the most important table that we're going to pull from is the sales order table. Like I said, that all the information about the individual orders that have been placed in our company. Next, we have sales order lines. So in case an order has multiple line items, we have the information for each individual item that a person is buying. Next, we can get the information about items that a person is buying from the warehouse stock items. And finally, on this side, we know the color of each item based on the warehouse colors tables. On the other side, we're connecting to the sales order table to get information about our customers. And each customer is going to have a customer category. You might find yourself coming back to this video to run through these relationships again, because this is very important in order to create successful relationships between tables. Understanding a database structure is one of the most important skills that you can learn as a data professional. In the very beginning, it can be very difficult to understand how tables might connect together. But the key is to really understand each column on the table. For example, if I'm looking at these sales orders tables and I see that there's a customer ID and I see that there's a customer table, I bet those join to each other on the customer ID column. That is just one of many assumptions that you can try out and realize that they work and that our data is going to match up and these relationships are going to work. Easier said than done, but that skill does grow the more times you go through these processes. Now that we've walked through some of the most important tables that we're going to be following from in our database, in the next video we're going to talk about SQL data types.